Happy Sunday. Hope you guys are having a great day. It's beautiful outside. Last week I mentioned a book that I was reading when my friend Dina passed away, and I didn't have the author's name, but this is the book. The author is Laura Lynn Jackson. She also wrote a book called The Light Between Us. I think that was her first book that I'm actually reading now. But I read this one first, and it's Laura Lynn Jackson is a psychic medium with an incredible gift. So I encourage you guys to read it. I'm going to talk about something. I thought it was ironic that I was reading this book shortly before my friend died, and she was upset about one of her students that had died recently. So I sent her the book, and I sent it to two people. I sent it to my sister and to Dina. My sister's real spiritual. She and I talk about signs from our parents all the time. And then I told Dina to read this, and that maybe it would help her with the loss of her student. I don't know if she ever did get it or have a chance to read it, but I wanted to tell you some of the things, some of the signs that I've had since she passed away on April 2nd. Her mom and I have been talking a lot, emailing and texting, and after my last video, she asked me to send her some of the signs, so I wrote them out, and I'm going to read them because I think that's probably the easiest way to not forget something. So, she died on April 2nd. On April 3rd, I was sleeping, and I woke up to this really loud noise. It was like a squeaky dog toy, like someone stepped on it. Like, it was so loud. We don't have a dog. We don't have any squeaky toys. I looked at my husband to see if he was up, but he was stirring, but he didn't wake up. And I don't even know. I think I might have said to him, "Did you hear that noise?" It was so loud. It actually kind of freaked me out. And that's all that happened. The next day I went and looked on the internet, and I found that a lot of people have gotten that, like, unexplainably out of the blue. But I haven't had anything like that since. It was just really strange. And the one thing that happened with this, I looked at my watch when it happened right away. It was 3:25 a.m. And in my head, I thought maybe that's a significant number. It just felt like, maybe I immediately thought that it was possibly her time of death. And I think I even asked her brother the next day, and they didn't have the time of death yet. So anyway, keep that in mind. Actually, later that morning, when I was doing my daily A Course in Miracles, I was really upset sitting outside reading, and a cardinal had been flying around in the backyard I have over here by the pool. The cardinal was going from tree to tree that kind of surrounded me, and it just sat there and just looked at me for a while. And then when I was reading one of the parts of the ACIM, I'm going to read it to you. It said, "There is nothing to fear. How safe the world will look to me when I can see it. It will not look anything like what I imagine I see now. Everyone and everything I see will lean toward me to bless me. I will recognize in everyone my dearest friend. What could there be to fear in a world which I have forgiven and which has forgiven me?" And the part that really stuck out to me was when it says, "I will recognize in everyone my dearest friend." Just kind of felt like different than anything I'd ever read in there. Got the spider crawling on me. It felt different just saying dearest friend. It felt like it was something that stuck out. And every time I would send her a happy birthday message on Facebook, I called her my dear friend. To me, it just felt different. It made me smile. And then the bird went up to the big tree. The cardinal went up to the big tree and started singing a pretty song. Then on 4/8, every night since she had died, I would ask her to come visit me in my dreams. I've always had really vivid dreams, and my mom and dad come visit me in my dreams. And so 6 nights later, she visited me in my dream. And we were a little bit younger. We were in a room. We were on the bed, and we were having a sleepover or something. We were sleeping next to each other. And I was by the window, and she was by the door. And these aliens came in, and they were surrounding her, and she was being super quiet and like trying to protect me. And so I just stayed really still and quiet, and they didn't notice me, and they wrapped her up and they took her away. And when I woke up, it was 3:26 a.m. So again, something significant with that number. And then the night before I wrote this to her mom, I woke up, went downstairs, looked at the clock, it was 3:26 a.m. So I was like, there's gotta be something with that number, because I keep getting it like within a minute. I keep looking at my clock. Then on April 10th, Eric and I were hanging out in the basement. It was like a Friday night. I was thinking about Dina a lot. I told Eric how we were really connected with music, and our songs since we were little were Queen's You're My Best Friend. She would always post that on my Facebook wall or text me that on birthdays and things, or if she was just missing me. And then I had posted Stevie Nicks Stand Back, because when we were younger we used to dress up with flowy clothes and put a blanket around us and spin around like Stevie Nicks does and sing that song. So that was always our song. And so that night Eric and I were dancing around our basement. I was crying and we were singing it, and he was dancing with me. And when the song was over, I sat down and I said, Dina, please send me one of those songs as a sign. The next day was the 11th, and I woke up, went to the post office, turned on station 95.9, and Stevie Nicks Stand Back was on, and I was super excited. It was the afternoon I was calling her daughter, and I wasn't sure if I should share it with her, because I just didn't know, what she felt about that. But I asked her how she felt about signs, and then she started telling me about some signs she thought that her mom was sending her. And I told her about that, and she said she got chills. So I sent her the book. I sent her mom this book too, hoping that it brings them some joy. But there's been a ton of other small signs since I've gotten, since she died. Numbers, songs, birds, loud honking car alarms that are going off while I was talking to Kelly on the phone. I was pacing in front of my house telling her about the squeaky toy noise, and these car alarms just kept going off one after the other. And Kelly's like, that's definitely hers. And so I'm still waiting for her to send me the Queen song, but I know she will at the perfect time. Then the last one I'm going to talk about was a few nights later. I looked at my Facebook and it said Dina, it said new notification, 11 minutes, so it was 11 a.m. I'm assuming that was 11 minutes ago. It said Dina loved your photo. And the photo that she had loved was a photo that she had posted, that I commented on when she died, but she posted it on August 11th, and the time was 11 minutes ago, and she loved it. And it was also the picture that I now have as my my profile picture, but she had posted it from Josh's bar mitzvah, where she helped me, and I called her my angel because she helped me so much. And she had like these little sparkles all over her head. And I said, that's why you have all the sparkles. So her mom, actually, I didn't know who had loved it. I assumed that someone had gotten her stuff to log in. But it still, like, freaked me out, And so a couple nights later, her mom told me that, she's like, I'm so sorry, I didn't know. And I said, actually, I loved it. I feel like even though it was her mom that actually loved it, they say that your loved ones will go through other people to send you a sign. So I don't think there was a coincidence that I looked at it at 11 minutes. It was August 11th picture, and it was the angel picture. So the last thing I'm going to tell you is that after I sent her mom all of these signs that I had been getting, that night after she read this, she said she went and looked at Dina's death certificate to check the time of death, and guess what time it was? It was 3:26. So since then I've been waking up a lot, and every time I look at my clock it's 3:26. I'm pretty sure that's just a sign from Dina telling me she's okay. My goal, well, one thing that's kind of cool that I noticed that I didn't notice before was that on the back of the signs book it says 1111, and to me that's my guardian angel, and that's Dina. And along with a few others. But my goal to you is just to relay that I believe that we're never alone, and that we're not just here for this body and this life. And my hope is it encourages you to learn and find peace. And thanks for listening. Much love and happiness to you.